Do. Dun, dun, do. All right, let us get started. Hey, upcountry, off-road, how's it going, man? Thank you for being here, and we're just now getting started. You guys, hey, in the chat, can you guys let me know if you guys can hear me 5x5? Are we good with audio and all that kind of stuff? Let me know. We are going to have a good time. This is Athletic Brewing Company. Corey and I, we both do not drink. That's been ever since, like, what? 1903. And so Athletic Brewing, you guys check it out. It is awesome. Good. Hey, Eric, thank you for letting me know that you guys can hear. Cool. So if you guys, Corey is watching the chat while I talk to you guys, focus on you guys. There's a super tricky trick on YouTube chat. And I think it is in brackets. If you say Overland Bound, then it will highlight it. And then I'll see it. It'll catch my eye. But Corey is also going to be chatting as well in the chat and saying hello to you guys. But if you guys do that in brackets, then I'll see the question. I can glance over there, and I will try and look at it every once in a while. So, hey, I hope you guys are enjoying the video series that is currently going on the channel, not the live, but my weekly video. Mike, who is in the chat, he is Social Pants, and then my good friend Parnell and I had been planning, Mike's been planning for over a year to go to the White Rim Trail, and you have to make sure you have all your permits and everything in order to go on the White Rim Trail. So we had a blast, and nothing went according to plan. And that is the gist of the the video series, but mayhem did ensue, and so check that out. While we were out and about in Moab, I was about 3 weeks on the road. We used our app, and so we're going to talk about that today. Overland Bound One, and I wanted to list 5 things that really saved our bacon when we were out there. You guys, I just want to say hi, Don from Virginia. Eric, yes, haircut. I think you're talking about my haircut. Mike, hello. Mike Blakely, how's it going? And Craig, what's going on, man? Mike, that is really funny. That is hilarious. Parnell is on the chat as well. So if you guys see Parnell and then Social Pants, they were on the trip with me. If you guys have any questions about the trip, you can chat with them. What went wrong, what went right, mostly what went wrong. The what went right would be a very short conversation. All right, you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Really appreciate it. We're going to talk about some things. So listing some of the things that went wrong. Well, I don't want to give too much away, but I think it's pretty clear that Mike had a truck issue on the White Rim Trail. We had to change plans there. And leading up to that, which you guys can watch on YouTube, we had thing after thing after thing that went wrong. So just to let you know, if you're not aware, Overland Bound, we, in conjunction with the community, have built an off-road mapping and navigation application for what it is that we do, and that is hardcore off-grid, off-road overlanding. We built it because our community needs are very specific, and yes, there are other mapping and navigation software apps out there, but we are rapidly iterating with the community to make ours specific for overland travel. If you want to know the key difference, it is that we have this worldwide community, 45,000 people now. And what we do is we combined, high tech, lots of R&D has gone into this off-grid mapping and navigation with our support community. And that's a key differentiator, but there are many things as well, some of which we'll talk about today. If you guys ever have any questions about Overland Bound One, hi, I'm Michael, and you can reach me in Overland Bound One just by messaging me. Just say Michael and ask me any questions that you might have. All right, David, what's going on, man? Alabama. Thank you for hanging out, and the Aquanator. Hello. All right, so let's get into 5 things. 5. There will only be 5. Only 5, but there might be a bonus one at the end. Okay, so this seems simple when you use it. You're like, hey, that's really, really cool. So we had a plan to go out to chicken corners, and we were going to stay the night. Well, there was a 100-year flood in Moab the night before, and we were not able to get to chicken corners because the road was washed out in many locations. Again, you can watch the video series. So we had to come up with a new plan. Well, we had been to an awesome campsite, so we decided we would go back. And when we got out there, somebody got lost. It might have been Social Pants. It might have been Parnell. Anyway, maybe it wasn't either of those two guys. I got lost. But I had taken a photo. I had taken a photo of our campsite. So here I've got the app next to me, and here's how that works. It's really easy. There's a button on the side, and it is get location from photo. Boom. You have your, you take pictures when you're traveling down the road. All you have to do is select that picture, and the app says it's right there. So when I was turned around, going around in circles, pride getting the better of me, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to use that photo. So that's exactly what I did. I got the photo, and it said, this is exactly where you camped. And then the cool thing about the app is you can also navigate there if you are on known roads, right? Not super primitive roads, but if you're on known roads. So here you can see it's just got a button right there. It says navigate. Boom. Pick your favorite turn-by-turn street nav app and go. That's it. So that was really handy, and I use it all the time. You can also use get location from photo when you're adding locations. So for example, if you want to add a campsite and it is a super awesome campsite, you want to make it private, it's just for you. You don't have to fill all that information in the app when you're traveling down the trail. All you do is you take your phone, you go click. That's it, and keep going down the trail. So it's super, super handy. All right. Let's get to item number 2. And you guys ask questions if you want to in the chat, and I'll try and get to them. All right. So second thing, one of us needed a mechanic. Now I'm not going to say too much about that because that episode isn't out yet. But one of us needed a mechanic for a fairly serious break. One of the cool things about the community is we have members everywhere. So the second thing that saved our bacon was reaching out to the community to get advice on known and trusted mechanics. So a couple of things. One, you can look at the map and it's got trusted mechanics that our members add to the map. So that's one thing. But also, if you know specific people, messaging. You can message people in the app. It's like your private email. But here is what is, yes, I want to cancel. Here is what is really cool. And even some power users of our app don't necessarily see this at first go. So along the top, there are these tabs. Go to members, boom. It shows you all the members. And if you happen to be at, in Moab, to take a random example, you can very simply message members from the map in that area, And the way it works is any of those location dots on the map for our members, it will add them to the message list. So no matter where you want information, if you are in the Pacific Northwest and you want information on Moab, just scroll over to Moab, circle or have the members on the map and say map or message these members, and you can ask them specific things about Moab. Hey, where should I go? What mechanic should I check out? It's a really valuable resource. So privacy is a big deal, right? So the message pin or the member pins on the map are approximate location, give or take many miles. So we don't pinpoint people on the map for security reasons. It is randomized, but they're in the general area. So that's one way to reach out to members. And in our case, we reached out to our member community and said, hey, give us a rundown on some mechanics in the area, and got some really good advice. All right. Let's see. Upcountry off-road. I'm glad I addressed your concern. No, they are not live. They are randomized and they are spread out. So no, you cannot pinpoint anybody's location in the app. In fact, when folks add their location information, it is city-state. So the general area, not pinpointing locations. All right, let's see. Let us continue. Thank you, Eric. Yes. Also, our member community is integrated seamlessly across the app. So you'll see, reviews for locations, members on the map. We do have the community forums as well, which I'll point out really, really briefly, because that's another way to reach out to our community and ask information. And if you so choose, you can also communicate with the community by topic. So if you want rig advice, if you want equipment advice and things of that nature. All right, now, let us go to number 3 that saved our bacon. Offline map, download. So that is clearly a use case for what it is we do, adventure travel. So we try and make it really, really easy. On the right-hand side, there's a download button, and you basically just reposition the grid square on the map, hit download, and then when you're offline, you have 0 cell reception. You'll have that map for offline download. I mentioned that we are working in collaboration with the community. This is another area across the board where we just keep making improvements. So more layers, more efficient, more data efficient, and we continually iterate. And the team's in very active development. I have to give a shout out to the development team. They're doing a fantastic job. And I also want to, again, shout out to the community and say, you guys, you're awesome. Thank you for iterating with me, telling me exactly what you guys need. It is really, really helpful. And it really provides focus for our app. I am one person, sample set of one, and I know what's useful for me, but really the knowledge from the community is what really shapes and guides the features, makes the app useful without getting in your way. All right, so thank you to the community and to Steve and Craig and the entire team. You guys are doing awesome. Okay, so downloads, fairly core for an offline navigation app. We use that all the time when we were out there, White Rim Trail, even though we didn't see it that much. We had the entire map downloaded. So really good feature, kind of core. Another one, we needed alternate routes for when things went bad, right? So our initial plan was to travel following a GPX track that was in the app. So the app has GPX tracks. I'll just highlight one of those. They are colored by difficulty. So we were following a GPX track, but things went wrong, and we needed to find alternate routes. You guys know, you've experienced this yourself. Google Waze, they default. They're like a horse to the barn, right? They default to a certain direction, and the direction that was recommended, just testing the various mapping software, was the 90-mile 2-day trip through the White Rim Trail, and trying to find an alternate route was difficult, especially when it's so automated. So route planning in Overland Bound One puts you in control, and that's very nowadays it's becoming very rare because, you know, if I'm a big box map solution for paved streets, I want you to go to McDonald's, I want you to go to Starbucks, I have to sell ads, I have to do all this stuff, and it's all automated, and in fact your route can change. You know, you take the same route 3 times and the route can change for many, many reasons. So the way to think of our route planning is that it puts control into your hands. And this is critical when you're doing adventure travel. You get to explicitly say where it is that you want to go. So I'll show that real quick. All right. We'll take a look at it real quick. Let me find some streets just for a quick demo. I'm not trying to make you ill by zooming around quickly. Okay, so we are going to plan a route, and we are going to tap exactly where we want to start, and then I'm changing to driving mode, and this again is the way is part of giving you control, to driving mode, so that it will snap to streets, because for 90% of what you want to plan, it can probably snap to a street, which makes it convenient to use. So you don't have to absolutely manually plot your route. So I'll show you how that works real quick. All right, see that? So it followed the road. So as long as I am in street mode, it will follow along the path. Now, delete that last point. Okay, now, when you're in off-road mode, you can tell the app, hey, I'm in off-road map now, and it will avoid concrete. So it'll avoid the pavement, and it will default to unimproved roads. That was super critical for us because in our case, we went to Potash Road back to Moab. We didn't want to go the streets, the longer paved streets. We needed to get Mike to Moab the shortest distance possible. So we put it in off-road mode, plotted along Potash Road, and it snapped to the unimproved road and into Moab. Now, if you absolutely have to plan manually, you can do that too by going into As the Crow Flies, and you can see I can plot anywhere I want to. And when you're off-grid, that's actually really handy, and we use that quite a bit. All right, let's see. Looking at I'm scanning the chat, you guys, just to see, let's see. So Stogie 95, we have one kind of membership, and yes, there are premium features in the app, and if you become a member, you get all access to all the features, including the off-grid mapping and navigation downloads. So it unlocks all the premium features that the app has. So the answer to that is yes. However, I would encourage you to install the app and check it out, because even without any of that, you get the satellite layers, you get all the points of interest, you can see all the GPX tracks, you can communicate with the community. Most of the functionality of the app is available to you. Just download it and it's available to you for free. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, thanks Eric. Yeah, ton of stuff available for free. And like I said, we have a list of founding principles. Go and see them on our website, but one of them is free access to information. So things like points of interest, as I mentioned, that's all available to you, as is the community. Ask people for support, so please take advantage of it. There are many features that are considered premium. And yes, you do have to be a member, but come on, it's a drop in the bucket. Awesome app. Okay, let's move on. Okay, sharing location. That super, super key. Now, you do have to be in communication in order to share a location with somebody. I want to make that clear. But over the ham radio, for example, let me show you some of the different ways that you can share location. First, this is the best way right here. You ready? You long press on the map. Boom. That's it. You just long press on the map. Now, this share button right there, you tap on it and it will open up your OS share configuration, right? So you just, you can send it via text, you can send it via email, you can send it however you want to. And any blue text in the app, you can copy by just tapping it. So in this case, I'll copy those GPS coordinates, bam. Now I can paste those anywhere. Now you're also gonna see the what 3 words designation, which is a 3-word combination for every 10-foot square on the planet. So with 3 words, you can tell people where you're at within, I actually think it's 9 meters approximately on the planet. So if you're on a ham radio, and we use ham radio for comms because we get the reach, we get the distance, as opposed to some other radio solutions, CB certainly. GMRS is really good as well, but we use ham radio primarily. Reach, and when you're using voice comms, it's difficult to read off GPS coordinates. 37.85, you guys see where I'm going with this. Whereas you can just give them 3 words. You can say, I'm at booth, prelude, errand. Booth, prelude, errand. That is where I'm at. Copy. And so with even garbled communications, it's easier to remember. And you can search in the app, even offline, for 3-word combinations. So if you guys are totally off grid and you're in communication via ham radio, it works off grid. And that's because we bundle the database with the app when you download it. So you get the database of 3-word combinations when you download it. So even offline, you can say booth, prelude, errand, type that into search, say go, it'll drop a temp pin, and you can find out exactly where someone's at. Very, very helpful for communication. All right, now, you guys, that was 5. Now we have a bonus one. And the bonus one is this. And you guys are gonna go, of course. Let's see. Bjorn, I want to give a shout out to Bjorn because he really underscored the importance for doing this very easily in the app. But the last bonus feature is a simple way to measure distance. Make it very simple. So you'll see a little ruler icon on the right. Boom. For our trip in Moab, it was which way is longer. Let's trace it and figure it out. So here, tap the measure tool, and then you just click on the map. And that's it. And it gives you the total distance. So that's 147, let's see, I'm looking, yep, you can see it on the screen. That's 147.86 miles. And then if you want detailed information, you can expand that. You can see what it is in meters, feet, if you would like. And you can also tap any one of these coordinates so that you have any of those waypoints coordinates. You can also send that and communicate that way. So those are the features that really saved our bacon when we were in Moab, and we use the app continually. Also, we added a bunch of locations as well. So when we went and we found places, just so you guys know, you can add locations to the app and choose to share it with the community, or you can keep it private for yourself. If it is private, then nobody else will see it. there's quite a lot of in-depth detail around your route that you plan. For example, you can share your route with other people that have Overland Bound One. So if you plan a very cool route, you can send that to your friend. And you can send it in a way that other people can't see it. So how do you do that? We're not going to get into today because it gets really detailed and you guys are like, I'm out. I'm falling asleep. I'm going to watch this later. But we are building out our tutorials online that has that detailed information. That's help.overlandbound.com. If you want to learn more about these features, we're building that out now. And you can also export your route via as a GPX file as well. So if you want to use Overland Bound One to create this awesome route, here's an example. You plot a route, you use the snappy feature, you use as the crow flies, and then you also travel the route and you realize, oh, this section is closed, I need to reroute over here. You can always edit your route at any time, even if it's saved. You refine the route and then you come up with something that is really yours, really a good route. You can then choose to export that as a GPX file so you can share it that way as well. So super, super handy. All right. Let's see. You guys, any questions? I'll watch the chat for a little while, but I'll let you guys go. That was it. I wanted to share personal experience. I'm always out there. I'm always testing the app. I'm iterating with the community. We have threads in the forums just focused on Overland Bound One if you want to become more involved, and there's that thing that's always annoyed you about other apps. You have a direct line of communication. And I want to underscore that the development team is in super active development, iterating very quickly on the Overland Bound One app to make it the best app on the planet for mapping and navigation and adventure travel. So that's what we're doing. If you guys want to talk to us, just go over to the forums, scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll find the Overland Bound One threads and join the convo. I even have there's a thing in there that is like nits and suggestions. So glad to get your input. Also, there's a link to our roadmap, which is public, so you guys can see when things are coming out and have your feedback or add your own feature so we can upvote it. All right, you guys, let's see. Is there a way to export waypoints that we've made? Eric, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked because it's something we're really focused on. It is a large epic because here's why. It's a two-way import-export. We want you to be able to import your waypoints from other apps that you may have used and you might currently be using. We want that to be super seamless because here's the other apps in terms of functionality and quality and Overland Bound. And if you project forward the next 6 months, this is super scientific, by the way. If you project forward the next 6 months, it's going to go like this. And more people are going to be using Overland Bound One, or affectionately known as OB1. We want you to be able to take your personal information that you've created elsewhere and bring it into the app. So we are working on that right now. It's a big epic. We are also working on what's called markers inside of Overland Bound One so that you'll be able to create your own and then export them as well. So the answer is not yet, but we're working on it. We know it's a big feature and we know it's needed. So we're working on that now. Okay, let's see. Cool. Hey, Corey, great. Thanks for watching, you guys. 20% off on membership from Corey. Thank you, Corey. Okay, let's see. What else? We call that feedback loop, import, export both ways. Yes, exactly. You guys know what I mean. So I've used other apps and that's why we're creating Overland Bound One, is because I have personal experience and our community has personal experience with other apps. And so we're really focused on things like data integrity, making sure your stuff is backed up. Everything that you create, even if you create it privately, is uploaded and then it's archived in multiple places so that you will always have access to your data. So when you do import things to the Overland Bound One platform, you know you have an archival version of that and it's safe, right? So you delete the app, you do anything, your data is safe and we can get it to you. That's why it's such a big deal. That import export both ways, it's a big deal. We're treating it as such. If you guys wanted to know a when, that is a not days, that's a weeks, months. So I'd like to see it out there in 60 days, but that's a very, that's a very rough estimate. There's a lot of work that we need to do it correctly. So we are quality driven, not date driven. That's very important to us. So when it comes out, be good. All right, let's see. Yeah, Social Pants, he's pretty cool. You guys, that's it. I think I'm gonna let you go. Don't wanna drag on too long. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. You guys, really, really appreciate it. And hopefully I get to see you guys out there on the trail. Yeah, and thanks to the development team, Steve, Craig, Corey, Jess, Elizabeth, and all the members who contribute all the time. All right, you guys. Thanks a lot, and I'm signing out now. Okay. See you guys on the trail.